your boy PennyLS1. So I just want to give y'all an update. Make sure y'all follow me on YouTube at PennyLS1. Go ahead and hit that like. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. But so what I'm working on now, if you've been watching me, brakes. So I've got the coilovers on, got the brakes on. I stripped the nut trying to take the hard line off the caliper. While on the driver's side, the hard line that runs to the frame where the soft line goes to, I stripped that nut trying to get it out. Didn't know I was supposed to use a line wrench to do that. I was just using the regular 10mm box wrench, and I stripped it. So I did get a set of line wrenches, so I was able to get the passenger one off, but the driver's one, I ended up having to cut it. So what I'm trying to do now, I have a master cylinder, Wilwood master cylinder that I bought 2016. I think I've been having this thing. I bought the kit with the disc-to-disc proportional valve. So I'm in the process of installing the master cylinder. I'm not gonna put the proportional valve on just yet. I'm gonna wait until I get my rear disc brakes. So I'm just gonna run the master cylinder with the stock hard lines running from the frame rail the way they are now, and just keep the stock proportional valve. I'm debating whether or not to get a new hard line for the driver's side, because I don't think you can get it by itself. I've seen it where you get a kit and it comes with both driver and passenger. I guess it wouldn't hurt to have both. Or I can just buy a straight piece and bend it myself. The other alternative is to get some stainless steel braided lines and just run that one, because that's what I'm going to end up running anyway when I put the new proportional valve on. I'm going to run stainless steel lines from that prop valve, because the new one mounts right on the side of the master cylinder. So I'm just going to run lines straight down to the calipers. So that's what I'm trying to decide now, is if I'm going to go get a hard line or if I'm just going to run a flex line to the from that proportional valve, just for the driver's side. I'm not going to mess with the passenger side yet, since it's still hooked up. I also have to repaint my calipers. If you haven't seen, I left some brake fluid in those calipers when I painted them, and when I set them down, they sat for about a month or two, and that fluid was just dripping out, because I took the banjo bolt out and the line. So when I set it down, it was leaking out, but it ran down on the side of the caliper. And as you know, that stuff is just like paint remover, actually, because that paint bubbled up. And it was fresh paint, so it wasn't that hard to damage it. But so I've already scuffed them up, pretty much taking them back down to the metal, using my Dremel with the sanding wheel, and I'm gonna reshoot them probably, I don't know, today or tomorrow. I was supposed to do it the other day when I sanded them, but my neighbor came over, brought some beer while I was in the garage, so I kind of stopped working to enjoy the adult beverage, and yeah, I never resumed the work. So that's what I'm doing now, man. I just want y'all to stay patient. The next big ticket item that I'm gonna purchase will be the wheels and tires. I finally narrowed it down, but that won't come until probably December. So I have a few more small things I want to do before I make that purchase. Another thing I'm thinking about redoing is my steering, my power steering lines. I did those myself. Well, at least the pressure line. The return line is just a stock AC Delco part, so it doesn't even have any custom fittings on it. It's just a slide on. The part that goes onto the reservoir just slides on the clamps, and then the part that goes into the gearbox is just a regular fitting with the it's like a barb fitting where the hose just slides on it and clamps. So I'm thinking about switching that, making that a nice stainless or a black stainless braided line, and replace the pressure one as well. The pressure one is already a stainless line, but it's the fitting is like chrome or steel, and it's already starting to corrode. So I'm gonna go with black fittings on that. But I did that myself, so at least I know how to do it now. I'm also considering changing the hoses or the lines from the transcooler, or from the transmission to the cooler. They're hard lines coming off the transmission up until the K member, and then they converted it to soft lines that runs up to the actual cooler. My cooler's built into my radiator. I have a Griffin radiator, but I'm thinking about, I may leave the hard lines but just replace the soft lines with the stainless one and then put some AN fittings on it. I'm also considering, I'm probably about to design some new t-shirts. I know I had one guy ask me if it was for sale. This isn't mine, as y'all see. This is Team G Body. Shout out to the real Mr. G Body. I purchased these off his website. Pretty nice. I got this one, then I got the red hashtag Team G Body black tee with the red box, the white letters. That's a pretty dope ass shirt. I like that one. But shout out to him. I've been having my eye on him for a while, man. He's doing some big things. But yeah, man, we got to support each other. We definitely got to support each other. But like I said, I did have one guy ask me about one of my shirts that I was wearing. He sent me a message and asked me if it was for sale. And I told him, I was like, not at the moment. I said, but I have considered, making that an offer to sell them. Because the reason I started making shirts for me is just so that I could have something to wear while I'm out working in the garage. Crawling around on the floor under the car, getting dusty and oily. I don't want to have to wear, all my regular t-shirts. So I just ordered like 1 or 2, and then I ended up with like 10. So I'm gonna come up with some new designs, and then I'll see if I can get an online store set up. And if you guys, if you want, you'll be able to purchase the shirts, and whatever, be really appreciated if you do. So, but like I say, for the most part, I made the shirts so that I can have something to wear while I'm working, and also just like when I go to car shows and stuff, just to have on. So I'm pretty much, promoting my own brand name. But if you guys want to buy them, definitely, I will definitely make that available. So I'll be working on that within the next few days. So just to kind of give you let me order this food real quick. Hold on. Oh yeah, but what I was going to let y'all know is I do design my own graphics. So I actually went to school for photography and graphics. Well, actually, I went to school for graphic design. I went to school for graphic design and photography. Photography 1 was a prereqs for my degree plan, and so I took a black and white photography. Well, that was photography 1 is a black and white old school film class. So it taught me how to use a camera. But I already had knowledge and skill on how to use Photoshop and all that stuff. But I did photography for like 7-8 years, like as a side hustle, if you will. I did parties, I did a couple weddings, which I never really liked doing. I really didn't like doing any of that. I did it. I got paid to do this work, but I was doing it for personal reasons, just to get better at it. And of course, if somebody's gonna pay me to come to their party, I'm gonna do the job. But I never did it as a full-time. I never really took it serious as a business. I probably could have made way more money than I did, but the benefit that I got was all the knowledge and techniques and the information on all the technology and the new equipment. It's like I learned all that stuff just by doing those small little gigs I did for that 7-year period. And when I started doing YouTube, it wasn't even something that I had planned on doing, like really. But I'm taking my skill set and using it, to my advantage. Thank you. But yeah, so YouTube was kind of like a byproduct of me building this car. I'm gonna tell you how I started. So initially, I was trying to find a way of promoting my photography business, and I had just started learning how to do video and edit and stuff like that. So when I first started putting videos on YouTube, it was videos of of some of my work, like some of my pictures or some of my food that I do, because I do, you know, I do a little cooking and I do like videos of it and stuff like that, and that's what kind of got me into learning how to edit. So I was just trying to find a platform to put my stuff, my work, so people can see it. That's really how I started. I started following like photographers and videographers on YouTube, and that's how I learned how to do a lot of the editing techniques that I do now, and even some of the techniques I use when I shoot. But it transitioned because, you know, I still was watching videos on car stuff on YouTube, right? So I'm watching photographers learning how to do certain tips and tricks, and then I'm also watching people work on their cars because I was trying to get ideas for the Monte Carlo, and that's what led to me starting my page, because my page was just Irish Marcel. That's, you know, that's how I ran my business. My photography business was Irish Marcel Photography. So when I first created YouTube, that's what it was under. So then one day I was just sitting there thinking, and I was like, once I started, the LS was already in the Monte Carlo, but it was still in the shop because I didn't have the money to pay him to get it out. So while I was going through that process of planning and getting that together, that's when I ran across a video on how to do the brakes, the big brake upgrade with the Blazer, stuff like that. And I had the Blazer stuff in the trunk the whole time. Like when I bought the car, it came with those spindles. That whole setup was in the trunk. So I guess the guy had planned on doing that and just never got around to doing it when he sold the car. So I went ahead and the first video I did, well, that was the second video. The first video I did, no, that was the first one. Well, let's put it like this. It wasn't the first one that I published on YouTube. The first one I published was a video. It was like a video / slideshow of random clips and pictures that I had of the Monte Carlo back when I first got it and was putting it in the shop and it was in storage. So all that video where it's showing me pull the car out of storage and it's showing all the parts, that was the process of me getting the LS swap done. At that point, I wasn't even thinking about doing YouTube, real talk. But once I started doing it, I was going through some old, you know, pictures and stuff, and I had a couple of video clips. So I said, let me put something together. So that was the first video that I published. And then the second one was when I did and I listed the parts, because my friend at work was like, I like the video, but I want to know what kind of parts you got and, you know, the part numbers. So that's when I started doing that. The third video was actually when I did that breakdown of the spindle, and I installed the Core 3 bracket and put the C5 caliper bracket and calipers and rotors. When I put all that together, that was the first video that led me to, you know what, this is what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna just document the process of me working on this car and getting it to you know, getting it complete. And that's when I came up with PennyLS1. I mean, I had already created PennyLS1 when I put those first two videos, but that was kind of the process of me going down that route. So I basically just took what I know and applied it to creating videos on YouTube. You know, my photography skills, you know, I'm not a videographer, but a camera, to me, a camera is a camera, right? If you know how to shoot pictures, shoot video, to me, it's the same thing. You know, as far as exposure, composition, stuff like that, that all applies, you know, using the camera. So what is this guy doing? So that's how I started, man. And like I say, so I literally created PennyLS1 kind of on a whim. And once I realized, because I didn't know YouTube had the partnership program. I didn't know nothing about that. So like I said, I didn't even start it for money. I just started it just to kind of showcase my work and, you know, get a following, because I'm following so many people, learning techniques and stuff like that. So I just wanted to kind of get a following. I mean, like, I don't know everything. Some of the guys that I watch don't know everything. Some of the guys that watch me don't know everything. They ask me questions. I'm asking other folks questions. And a lot of the stuff I'm just learning on my own because of the research that we all do. So it was kind of like an organic thing, putting PennyLS1 together. So what I did after, let me see, that was 2019. So after 2 years, really, because March of this year, March of 21 is when I officially registered my business. So like I say, PennyLS1, that's me. You know what I'm saying? That's the name of the channel, that's me. But the the way I have everything structured, everything goes through my business, which I labeled, or I created, Irish Marcel Productions. So like I said, I was doing photography for all those years, which I could have left it as that, but since I really don't do any photography anymore for customers, I just decided to change the name to Productions. So it's just Irish Marcel Productions instead of Irish Marcel Photography. So that's my business name. So that's why you guys see that that title screen in the beginning, and at the end of most of the videos it says Irish Marcel Productions, and then you'll see the PennyLS1 logo, because my business structure is, that's how it's structured. So once I'm monetized, the videos are owned by Irish Marcel, right? That's me, one and the same. So I just want to funnel everything through the business, and PennyLS1 is just a character. Make sense? It made sense to me at the time, so that's how I roll with it. I mean, that's how I set it up, so that's how I'm gonna roll with it. So all my business accounts and my cards, everything is under Irish Marcel Productions. So this was the thought. The fact that I'm registered as a production company, I'm creating content, right? So everything that I use to create this content is a business expense, right? Equipment, all my camera gear, which at this point, guys, I'm shooting on my iPhone. Like, really, I sold all my photography equipment because I never really had any video equipment. I had a point and shoot camera that shot 1080p video, and then I bought a DSLR that shot 1080p. But the DSLR one didn't have any image stabilization built in, so I had bought a gimbal. But you know, with it being such a big camera, the gimbal was heavy, and it was a pain to use, like, on the run. And then the point and shoot was perfect, but it messed up. I think the lens stopped working, and I just didn't want to buy another lens for it because it was a different type of camera. It wasn't interchangeable with the other lens that I had. And also the fact that I started editing on my iPad, and the videos that come off the point and shoot camera, the format is not compatible with my iPad. I used to have to put it on my laptop, upload it to iMovie, save it, and then basically convert it, and it was just a pain because it downgraded the footage, and I didn't like that. So now I'm shooting straight off my phone in 4K, right? And then I upload everything to my iCloud, and then from my iCloud I import everything into LumaFusion. So that's how I roll now. So that's it, guys. I got the business set up. Oh, another thing I was gonna say as far as expenses. So all the equipment that I use, like I bought microphones and tripods and stuff like that, different gimbals for the phone. I had a drone at one point. I wasn't using it enough, so I actually sold it. But because I was gonna do PennyLS1, I mean, it could be PennyLS1 Productions, it could be just PennyLS1 Media, whatever you want to call it, but something relative to some type of media platform, because you are creating content and putting it on YouTube, publishing. So once you do that, man, you should be good to go. But all right, y'all, I just came back from getting some food. I'm about to go chill, probably get on some Madden, and probably edit this video. So appreciate everybody for rocking with me, man. Thank you so much. But like I say, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at PennyLS1. Also subscribe to my YouTube. Hit the notification bell at PennyLS1, and just stay tuned for what's to come. I may go ahead and work on some t-shirts, and I'll let you guys know if I decide to sell them. But I'm definitely going to work on some new designs, because I want a couple of more designs for me to wear. But if I feel they're good enough to sell, I'll let you guys know. What I'll probably do is create a couple of designs, and then I'll do like you know how you do like the little survey on the story, and then just get a poll. You can do a poll and just kind of get an idea of how many people, you know, would be interested if I were to put them up for sale. So all right, y'all, PennyLS1, holla at your boy.